I'm about to share with you a really bullish rumor, and it's from an account that does have some credibility. Some of the rumors that this guy shared before actually came true. So if this is actually confirmed, this is going to be huge news. Chris Zhang posted there are reports that Elon intends to restart the NV91 and NV93 projects which were canceled, and these cars would be priced around $25,000. If true, this would reduce the risk of holding Tesla stock by quite a bit, I would personally say, because I personally believe even the current valuation could be sustained, and actually there would be more to gain if Tesla just dominates every single segment of the vehicle market. But if Tesla doesn't make a smaller vehicle that would compete with something like a Toyota Corolla, then Tesla is just giving up that whole market. So the source of this rumor seems to be this news website, 36KR. A person close to Tesla's headquarters revealed to 36KR that Tesla intends to restart the research and development of the NV91 and NV93 projects to create new cars smaller than the Model Y. Interestingly, the original mass production time of this model was August 2025. But if you recall, in February 2024, which is basically exactly when Elon's compensation package was rescinded, the projects were halted. The combination of Tesla, his DV14, and Elon's compensation package gives me and Farzad massive 2013, 2019 Tesla stock vibes. And if you remember, back in 2019, Tesla stock was trading under $20 per share. So now it's trading 20 times higher than that. It feels like something massive is about to happen, or I'm going crazy and I'm literally losing my sense of reality. Farzad is asking for help. But no, I definitely agree with Farzad. I mean, you just look at FS DV14 and you see some amazing performances with vehicles, for example, going through drive-through. So unless these OG FSD testers are hiding something, please Tesla, send this version to everyone, to the next wave of testers. And Tesla just announced this news, and Elon Musk confirms this. Congratulations to the Giga Texas team for building 500,000 vehicles. And if Tesla releases these cheaper models, we will have another celebration like this, except they will be celebrating not just 500,000th vehicle built in Giga Texas, but probably 1 millionth. And it won't be any cars built at Giga Texas. It will be specifically the more affordable vehicle built at Giga Texas. Like if they make that more affordable vehicle, that if you thought that the Model 3 and the Model Y were best-selling vehicles in the world, and that was amazing, wait until just how many units Tesla is going to sell of these more cheaper vehicles. When the rumors were circulating a while ago, this is actually more than a year ago, that Tesla perhaps is going to build this more affordable vehicle with basically a single casting, there were rumors leaked that Tesla was talking to a supplier, basically asking to provide enough parts for this new project to build 4 million of these vehicles a year. That's insane. If you make 1 million units a year of one single model, basically, you are the world's best-selling car. But if you build 4 million, wow. We can certainly talk a lot about, is this rumor true or not? Will Tesla actually build a $25,000 vehicle? And I think the timing just makes too much sense. Elon Musk just got his compensation package approved. I mean, the new one, and Elon Musk bought more Tesla stock. If the board was actually really diligent, and if they approve this new compensation package for Elon, I think this project would have never been canceled, and by now we probably would have had the more affordable vehicle, which in a way is good news, also bad news for Tesla stock investors. It's good because during all this time I have been buying Tesla stock, and of course we are getting a huge discount because a lot of the mainstream investors on Wall Street, they just buy the stock based on what do we already have, not on what will almost clearly happen in the future if you just think a little bit and you come to an obvious conclusion. And with Tesla, Tesla is going to make full self-driving safer than human driving. So obviously the stock is going to explode once Tesla puts robotaxis in every single major city in the US without anyone supervising them from inside the vehicles. If you really spend some time thinking about it, that's an outcome that's basically inevitable. And while at this point, the Wall Street is actually giving Tesla some credit. Like, for example, Morgan Stanley, they are all excited about Tesla. Dan Ives, oh my God, he's jumping up and down about Tesla and FSD and everything related to that. If you read Elon's biography about Walter Isaacson, and if you read all of the court transcripts where Elon Musk was under oath, you will start to see a pattern that Elon Musk likes to push to the absolute edge, and sometimes his methods are a little bit that's a strong way of doing things. And my personal opinion is that it's very likely that Elon Musk delayed the project on purpose, because it doesn't really, like, if you are still going to do it, it doesn't really make that much of a difference in the end whether you're going to do it now or a year later. I'm talking about the more affordable car. And the reason for that is, if you look at the Model 3, it was released when? July of 2017. Do you know when the first sort of more mainstream vehicle was released that was electric? Was it in 2017? No, it was not. It was actually back in 2010. So Tesla was sort of really late to the party. But the thing that set Tesla apart was they made a vehicle that was actually really good. So as long as you make a product, or a vehicle in this case, that's actually really good and much better value than everything else out there on the market, you are destined to crush everybody else. And if Tesla does release this new cheaper model, $25,000, Tesla is going to annihilate a lot of the competition, and unfortunately a lot of companies are going to go bankrupt just because of that. And keep in mind that Elon Musk did say that he doesn't think that any of these automakers that make electric vehicles, none of them actually make profits from selling electric vehicles. Not true with Tesla. With Tesla, you can clearly see that Tesla is making a lot of money selling EVs. So if now suddenly Tesla releases this $25,000 vehicle, what do you think is going to happen? Ooh, bad things to Tesla's competitors. But do you remember this post from 2024, January 15th? I'm uncomfortable growing Tesla to be a leader in AI and robotics without having 25% voting control. Enough to be influential, but not so much that I can't be overturned. And then watch this. Unless that is the case, I would prefer to build products outside of Tesla. Now, many took this as, oh, it's just AI. It's like building a large language model. Elon is not going to do that at Tesla, even though before maybe he would have considered it. Or if he would have created a new company, he would have Tesla own like 40% of the company. Didn't happen. But I think Elon actually also meant like building new products, as in no new affordable model. You don't seem to understand that Tesla is not one startup, but it doesn't simply look at the delta between what Tesla does and GM. As for stock ownership itself being enough motivation, Fidelity and Elder own similar stakes to me. So why don't they show up for work? I am pretty sure that message was addressed directly to the Tesla board. And the thing that disappoints me quite a bit about this whole situation is that when this new compensation package was announced, Tesla board said that they have been working on this basically just since the beginning of this year. It was less than 1 year, meaning, if we believe exactly what the board is telling us, when they saw this post from Elon Musk saying that he wants to be paid and that he is not going to build new products at Tesla unless his compensation issues are resolved, the Tesla board did not directly address this until like a year after this post was made. Now, we can of course talk about the earlier compensation package having issues, and clearly the board was working on trying to reinstate that, but that is the past. How about the future? And they did not provide a new compensation package for Elon. There is no official nothing. If somehow the board managed to quickly create a new compensation package, which was clearly vital, and really, when I think about the Tesla board, I think they have the most important job that they need to do is, number one, keep Elon Musk. They have done that. Thank you, Tesla board. You have done great with that. And then number two is to keep Elon motivated, and they completely did not succeed in that. I would say for at least about 1 year since this post was made, so from January 15, 2024 to 2025 January, based on what the board is telling us, I don't think the board succeeded in keeping Elon motivated. Now, if the board would have said when they created this new compensation package, when they announced it, my assumption was that they have been working on this new compensation package from the moment that Elon Musk made that post. But if they take the board's word for it, they didn't. And this is the first time I am largely disappointed with the board. However, in the end, does it really make that much of a difference? Really, if I think about it, I was buying more Tesla stock, so I was able to buy more Tesla stock at cheaper prices. So in a way, it's actually benefiting me. So I guess I'm not actually upset with the board because eventually they did solve the problem. But I think personally, one of the main reasons why they did not say that they were working on a new compensation package basically immediately when this was announced was because of the reversal of the previous compensation package, and the board members were actually sued, and they did return a substantial amount of Tesla stock to shareholders. I mean, they returned $277 million in cash, $459 million in stock options, and foregoing up to $184 million stock options awarded. I think at that point, the board was just really scared of major lawsuits against them, which I understand, but also the duty of the board members is to make sure that the CEO is fully motivated, and I don't think they did a very good job at that for that period of time. And think about this from Elon's point of view. So you don't have a compensation package agreed on yet, the new one. And are you really going to do all the things that you know will easily drive the stock up, and then once you have already driven the stock up, now your new compensation is going to be only based on the market cap and the value based on what you create on top of what you already created, and during this whole time you didn't really get paid anything in terms of a compensation package. So wouldn't you just want to wait a little bit, and then once you have the new compensation package approved, only then you really do all of those things? So I'm not saying that Elon Musk did that, but I'm saying, wouldn't that at least cross his mind? And this is where I might start another argument. If the Tesla board acted quickly and swiftly, and Elon probably saw it from a mile away that his compensation package, the old one, was at risk of being rescinded, and maybe that was one of the reasons why he founded xAI completely separately from Tesla. Tesla did not own anything. He did not have any stake in xAI. And if the board acted really quickly, then Elon Musk perhaps was worried. I don't think that Elon would have founded xAI without Tesla having any ownership of xAI. So I think this one is a bigger blunder that the Tesla board has made. I personally would have loved to own xAI, or for Tesla to own at least a small, at least do something symbolic, like 5%, 10%. Why couldn't have Tesla owned 10% of xAI from like day one? There's no way that Tesla shareholders overall would have disapproved of that move. And the whole time, from the moment xAI was founded, I said, I would love to invest into xAI, and now that investment would have increased by a lot. Check this out. Recent reports suggest that xAI's valuation is being pushed to $200 billion. And when the company was founded, how much was it worth? About 670 million. So let's say 1 billion. Okay, Tesla, just couldn't have Tesla just given like 100 million for like 10%? That would have been such a good investment. Speaking in percentage terms, but overall in absolute terms, Tesla is worth over $1 trillion. xAI is worth, let's say, 200 billion. So it wouldn't have really made much of a move for Tesla stock, but it would have been a great investment. And clearly, Elon Musk asked publicly multiple times, Tesla board and Tesla investors, you guys could invest in xAI, you know that? And nothing came out of it. So that was a bit disappointing. I think the Tesla board wanted to maintain an image of independence, or portray that image. And in reading the court transcripts and everything about the whole trial, I personally really don't think that the board is really that independent, but I think they just did this for show. We are independent, so we are not going to invest into xAI. I did not like that. The Tesla board didn't even give us an official statement like, why didn't you invest into xAI before? Why? Or there's no explanation. Now, going forward, we know that Tesla almost certainly is going to invest into xAI now, and that's good. I like that, but it would have been much nicer to invest into xAI at a $1 billion valuation or 10 billion or 20 billion or even 50 billion. Now we are going to invest at a much larger valuation. I believe it is still going to be a great investment, but it sure would have been really nice to invest into XAI much sooner. Like when Elon Musk asked for it the first time, not like the time that was after the first time. Also, did you know an interesting fact? There has never been a founding round from an Elon Musk owned company, privately owned, that had a down round, meaning there was never a time where you could sell Elon's privately owned company stock when the chance was given to sell the stock, where you could have lost money. Now, knowing that fact, I think, and the reason why I know this or why I'm saying this is because I was on a private call to invest into SpaceX, and that was one of the arguments presented. You know, this is something to think about. Elon Musk never had a down route. There's Neuralink, there's the Boring Company, there's SpaceX, and now XAI, and yeah, something to think about. Now, of course, you could have still lost money if you bought the stock and you somehow tried to sell it when Elon's companies weren't looking for funding. But as long as you sold the stock when more funding was needed, you actually made money every single time. Now, as far as boards are concerned, am I overall so disappointed in the Tesla board that I'm saying that we need to make some major changes? I wouldn't say so. I think the main thing for me is the return of the stock in the long term. And in the very long term, so far, the Tesla board has done okay. So I'm not saying that someone from the Tesla board needs to be fired or anything like that. Absolutely no. No, I'm definitely not saying that. I'm just saying that there could have been things done that would have been more productive in my personal opinion. Now, it could also be that the board simply just not giving us all the facts, which could be, but at this point, I would really not base my whole belief on that, because they are telling us that they have been negotiating with Elon Musk for less than a year about the compensation package. So basically just this year or early this year, I think they started. So if they have been talking to Elon Musk about the compensation package for longer than that, that would mean that they are lying. And I don't think that the Tesla board would lie, not when they have this many lawsuits against them or had many lawsuits against them. I personally think that Elon Musk has enough power to fire any single Tesla board member if he really wanted to, and he's not telling us anything like that. So unless Elon Musk says that we should get someone removed from the Tesla board, I'm not going to advocate for that. Definitely, absolutely not. All I'm saying and all I'm asking is the Tesla board, please, if Elon Musk brings an issue to you, and if he says something that's clearly him basically asking for something, could we just please get that taken care of like immediately, not like a year later? That's all I'm asking. And if you can't do that, could you please give us, the shareholders, an explanation of why that's not being addressed? As long as we can do that, I will be perfectly happy. But if you look at the last 5 years, Tesla stock has returned almost 200% to its investors. That's a lot. So overall, I'm fairly happy with this. And if we zoom out just a little bit more, the returns have been absolutely flabbergasting. And I believe we are going to go through another wave just like that in the future. And I will post my new and updated Tesla stock price target on X, so make sure that you follow me here. There's a link in the description and the pinned comment if you haven't followed me on X yet. And as far as voting is concerned, I would basically just vote how Alexander is suggesting here. Generally, I would follow what the board is recommending. I would just follow that. Okay, and then check this out. So I said that the board started negotiating with Elon Musk. When exactly? Well, it turns out that they started negotiating officially in February of this year. So from February to September, that's not a long time. This whole time, I thought the Tesla board started negotiating with Elon Musk. This whole time, I thought that the Tesla board started negotiating with Elon Musk since like 2024 February. And then back to new Tesla news. We got some pretty good numbers from China actually in terms of deliveries. You can see that the second week is relatively strong actually for Tesla. It's better than these 3 recent quarters. And in China, Tesla Model Y nearly dethrones China's #1 best-selling car despite costing 4 times more. And I like this statement here. I say this every time, but Tesla's margin on the Model Y in China is more than the Wulling's entire price tag. Wuling could reduce their cost of goods sold to zero and still have less profit per vehicle than the Model Y, he says. I'm not sure that's really true, but he does have a point. Oh, and look at what Tesla is doing here. Tesla is advertising. It's using paid ads. Tesla is advertising in Australia via a sponsored article on Car Expert that pitches fleet electrification to small and medium businesses. This was also highlighted by Samantha George, the key account manager in the Tesla team working with fleets. As you can see, this is a sponsored article. I personally think if Tesla really wanted to advertise, Tesla could profit from that quite a bit, but I don't mean just put up like a random ad that's not exciting. Like if Tesla did something big and something innovative with their ads, I think that would actually work. And then this is a first, says Sawyer. Tesla's running paid ads on Paramount Plus, encouraging people to vote their Tesla shares ahead of the annual shareholder meeting on November 6th. Omar thinks it's kind of cringy, but look, getting more votes, I don't think it's cringy. So if you are a Tesla shareholder, which I assume you probably are, make sure to vote. Tesla also put an ad on Facebook encouraging people to vote their Tesla shares. Yeah, so Tesla is really pushing this whole thing here. I'm not complaining about that at all. I think it's okay. Then we got this post from Sawyer. Dr. Shane Goodwin says, I advise Tesla's special committee on Elon Musk's historic incentive compensation package. Most critics are missing that point, and that is that it only rewards extraordinary measurable results, market cap, operational milestones, and long-term value creation. So if Elon Musk doesn't create value, he gets paid zero extra money. Goodwin says retaining Elon is vital as Tesla pivots towards AI, robotics, and energy, arguing his leadership and talent magnet effect are irreplaceable. And I think that's really the number one duty and thing that the Tesla board needs to execute, or I want them to execute. Keep Elon Musk, number one. That's the most important thing. And number two, keep Elon motivated. Everything else, basically just let Elon handle that. And this is going to be actually a huge thing. Tesla will cross 6 billion FSD miles this quarter. And if you remember, the 6 billion miles is a figure Elon Musk cited in his 2016 Tesla Master Plan, Part 2, for how much data was estimated to be needed for worldwide regulatory approval of its self-driving FSD system. While Tesla's fleet has driven billions, it's not at 6 billion yet, but it is going to be there soon. And we already have some robotaxis on the roads. Now, one important distinction to make here is that once you have the miles, it doesn't mean you will be approved immediately. It still takes time to get approved. But the technology basically is already there. I mean, in Austin, the robotaxis are driving all over the place, and the reviews of V14 are wildly good. When I watched that video from AI Driver of him saying that this is the version where he actually feels comfortable to sit on the passenger seat, just basically pressing a few buttons on the monitor just in case something goes wrong, but not actually being in front of the steering wheel and not having to press the accelerator pedal or on the brakes. I did not think that he would say that. And personally, you know, when I get in front of the steering wheel and I turn on FSD, I definitely want to be in front of the steering wheel. I would not make that comment at all, ever, about V13. But having him make that comment about V14, that truly blew my mind. Oh, and check this out. You can select from 5 parking choices now, or curbside for robotaxi style drop-offs. This is in FSD V14. Your preferences for arrival options and preferred parking positions are remembered for each destination. That's really good. So if it knows that I usually park inside my garage when I arrive home, it will just know that. I will not need to press on the thing each and every time. So that's really good. Tesla's reasoning model also evaluates the best options for your destination and selects the most intuitive default. I've experienced all options in my Model Y and they work well. That's good to hear. The new speed profile layout is on the top, which includes the new sloth mode. Sloth mode is good for slower or more nervous drivers, or for those that prefer to match the highway speed limit and stay on the right lanes. I am definitely happy that there is going to be a sloth mode. Sometimes, occasionally, when I'm driving through an area where I think, you know, more things could be happening here that are not going to be favorable to me, I just wish I could easily slow down FSD, and I just put it in the chill mode, but that's still too fast. So the sloth mode should be perfect for situations like that where I just want the car to slow down for like 15 seconds, just drive a bit slower, and then after that I can easily turn it back to, let's say, normal. And look, I'm seeing so many posts like this about V14. It just it's becoming routine now. If it's V14 drove me 160 miles yesterday all over LA County, and I didn't drive a single mile myself. Everywhere I went, it parked for me and left from that spot. Notable drives include an 80-mile round trip from the Tesla diner to Simi Valley and back without any human input. Having the ability for your first and last 1 to 5% of your drive to be done on FSD is game-changing with parking. I drove as much as I could yesterday in challenging areas, and it was great. Once they fix the rear brake stutter, it'll be perfect. And this is why you want to drive on FSD generally. The car slowed down and stopped for this bicycle or motorbike. I'm not sure what that is quite, but FSD did a great job. This is why you want to turn it on. And here FSD reacts to a kitten. See, it's running right there. It actually slowed down for the kitten, so that's good. And the more Omar is using Tesla's newest FSD version, the more impressed he is. Oh, and now Tesla is accepting questions for their Q3 earnings call, so get those submitted if you have any questions. And then a big congratulations goes to the SpaceX team for successfully landing another Starship rocket. At this point, it's becoming sort of routine almost, you could say. It was beautiful to watch this scene. It just went well. And SpaceX having success with Starship is actually really good for Tesla, because we are seeing the impossible being done in front of our eyes. And not a long time ago, it was still thought to be completely impossible that Tesla could actually have full self-driving safer than human driving. But now we are actually starting to turn some of these people. They are starting to change their opinions slowly. There's some positive news about FSD in Europe. These are minor developments, but it's good to see. And this is something worthy of looking into. Tesla reportedly places order for robot parts, hinting that Optimus V3 design is all but finalized. Tesla placed a huge order for actuators with deliveries expected in the first quarter of 2026. Oh, Tesla insurance could soon launch in Florida. Tesla filed to update its private passenger auto program in Florida effective December 2025. And Norway has reached a massive milestone here actually. Norway plans to eliminate its main subsidy for electric vehicles over the next 2 years. And that's because they say we have a goal that all new passenger cars should be electric by 2025. And we can say that that goal has been achieved. Therefore, the time is ripe to phase out the benefits. Waymo is actually expanding its launching its driverless ride-hailing services in London in 2026. You know, we really need to appreciate what Waymo is doing, because it's doing all of this hard work with regulators and everything and getting approvals, only later to be destroyed by Tesla. So it's actually making it easier for Tesla to launch and scale faster. So we really need to appreciate Waymo. Thank you, Waymo, for doing this. And I personally, of course, believe the Tesla stock is going to $1,000 per share, and I'm updating that for now. If you'd like to see that, make sure to follow me on Twitter or X. There's a link down below in the description of the video and the pinned comment. I will post that on the account. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. My name is Matt Posius, and I will see you in the next video, probably on Friday.